Yeah, of course. And this is, this is always a difficult conversation for me, because it's, a lot of the work that I do comes from the place that, we need to do this because, these are human beings and we need to try and help them with their mental health. However, when you put your business hat on, you can see it in a different way. And typically I'll have many conversations with HR, and a lot of them get it, they buy into it, but then they've got to go and sell it to the FD or the CEO, and and let's be honest, they might see it in a very different way. But there's a lot of research now, Deloitte papers that are out there that shows that for every £1 invested in mental health, companies saw a £5 return. There's lots of research and studies out there that have shown that there is a return on investment when it comes to mental health. And equally, when you think about it, if someone is thriving with their mental health, they're going to perform better. They're going to want to stay in that business. If they feel valued by that business, they'll want to stay there. They want to give their all to that business and to that job. Whereas if they aren't being supported, if they don't feel valued, then they're going to want to be looking for another alternative. So I think there's a lot of real business benefits from job retention, return on investment, higher productivity. There's a lot of conversations around presenteeism again, and how that is impacted by poor mental health. But I think as well, when you're looking at it, it's just a human thing to do, right? Every employee has mental health, so why are we still ignoring it? And just because no one's talking about mental health does not mean you haven't got a mental health problem. It means you have a silent culture and no one feels comfortable to talk about it. So, everyone has mental health in your business. So yeah, you need to do more about it for sure.
Interesting. Jane, I mean, from what we're hearing, do you think that businesses are, I mean, Paul's saying there that, we should be doing it, there's a business case for it as much as anything else. Mm. And he'd also talked about some of the challenges that's sometimes happening at the leadership level and whether they see it in the same sort of way. Do you think that businesses are aware of this at the moment? And do you think that largely businesses are doing enough in terms of protecting the mental health of their employees?
There's probably a wide range of businesses, some which are quite active and some which are not very active in this area. But I think there's a risk at the moment that there's a gap between the groups, because what the statistics are showing is that basically the people who are feeling the stress over the COVID are, exactly as Krishna was saying, it's the working parents. It's the people who have lost their jobs. It's the people who are living in accommodation which is too small so that you couldn't effectively be working from home. It's the people who are suffering financially, and leadership may not be in that situation. So they may be out of touch with that disconnect. They may be able to afford larger homes and that allow them the space. They can have their groceries delivered, so they've not got the stress of going to the grocery shop. They can afford to have alternative childcare. So there's a real risk at the moment that the leadership aren't understanding how exhausted their staff are feeling. And so while there's a general issue around mental health, the impact of COVID and generally the what's happened over COVID is everybody has started working harder. We've not seen productivity drop, which in one way we say that's a great thing, but what we have seen is levels of exhaustion and burnout and well-being, basically increased levels of anxiety, and people basically just working longer hours. And there's a risk in my mind that I see there's a gap between what senior managers are seeing and seeing that are not seeing that because they're not personally experiencing it.